You've seen him everywhere, right? The bull, Nandi. He's this constant, silent presence in temples, on state emblems, you name it. But have you ever really stopped and wondered what he truly represents? Well, today we're going to decode this powerful symbol and uncover the one big idea that connects him to the very heart of a culture.
So, we're about to take a little journey through faith, law, and even politics to figure out how this one image got so deeply embedded all across India. Think of it as a visual investigation into a symbol you've probably seen 100 times, but maybe don't know the full story behind. And yeah, that brings us to the big question. Why this symbol? Why the bull? What is it that gives it such incredible significance that it shows up in the most sacred temples, on the highest symbols of the government, and even in the logos of political parties?
So our investigation kicks off in the most obvious place, the world of faith, where Nandi is that steadfast guardian, forever gazing at the divine.
But here's where the mystery really starts to deepen. We find him far, far away from the temple walls, right in the halls of power, stamped on the very symbols that define the nation's governance.
And maybe the most surprising part of all? The same ancient symbol plays a role in modern politics and the fabric of our everyday social lives. It creates this puzzle that connects the ancient world to today in a really direct way.
Okay, let's dive into this, starting with the context we all know best, religion. This is where the questions really start to pile up.
I mean, think about it. Why is Nandi a non-negotiable presence right in front of every single Shivalinga? Why is he placed before all 12 of the most sacred Jyotirlingas? Why do we see a pair of Nandis at a place as important as Kudala Sangama? And it's not just about where he sits. There are tons of temples and festivals dedicated only to Nandi. Something profound is clearly going on here.
All right, now let's see how this all builds when we step out of the temple and into the world of law and society. Because the symbol's power isn't just spiritual, it's secular too.
This timeline just shows the incredible staying power of this symbol. You've got the Nandi seal from the Indus Valley, one of the oldest symbols of authority on the entire subcontinent. Now let's fast forward thousands of years to 1950. What do we see on the very first page of the Indian Constitution? That same Nandi seal. And today, it's Nandi who sits right on top of the Singal, the ceremonial scepter that represents just and fair rule. From ancient authority to modern democracy, the symbol is always there.
Now here's a really fascinating piece of political history. India's two major national parties, the Indian National Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party, at one point both had symbols directly linked to the ox. Congress used a pair of yoked oxen, and the BJP used an image of a farmer with a plow and oxen. It's pretty remarkable to see this shared symbolic root, isn't it?
And the influence doesn't stop there. The ox shows up in the logos of a lot of agricultural universities, linking it to knowledge and progress. And then on a much more personal level, Nandi statues are often found and worshipped in family homes, bringing this huge national symbol right into the most intimate daily rituals.
And just to get a sense of the scale of this influence, get this. An estimated 80% of festivals celebrated across India are in some way Nandi-centric. That is an incredible number. It suggests this isn't just a symbol, it's more like a core cultural engine.
So, we have faith, governance, politics, education, festivals, all of them pointing back to Nandi. We've laid out all the evidence, so now, let's get to the single unifying answer that connects all these different threads.
What is the one idea that's powerful enough to bridge the sacred and the secular? To be there at the founding of a civilization and the founding of a modern republic? What's the one thread that ties all of this together?
Here it is, the core idea. If Nandi-based agriculture survives, Indian culture survives. This one statement is the key that unlocks the entire code. Nandi is so much more than a deity's companion. He is the symbol of an entire way of life.
So, the crucial point here is really understanding what this connection between Nandi and culture actually means. It's about recognizing that the bull represents a foundational economic and philosophical system.
Let's break it down. The first concept is Nandi Krushi. Now this isn't just farming, it's the entire traditional system of ox-powered agriculture. For literally millennia, this was the economic and social engine that powered civilization. It provided food, wealth, and structure to society.
And that economic engine gave rise to a whole philosophy, Kaya Ka Tattva. This is the idea of work as a form of duty, even a form of worship. It's a belief that labor itself is sacred, and that's a concept born directly from the rhythms and the hard work of an agricultural life.
And this just lays out the logic perfectly.
It's like an unbreakable chain. Nandi the bull is the living symbol of Nandi Krishi, the ox-powered agriculture. That system of labor gives birth to Kayagatattva, a philosophy of work as worship. And that philosophy becomes the very foundation upon which the entire culture, its rituals, its laws, its values, is built. The symbol really does contain the whole story.
And that leaves us with one last, and I think crucial question. We see the symbol of Nandi everywhere, but the system of Nandi Krishi that it represents is, well, it's fading. So what happens to a culture when its most powerful, most widespread symbols become disconnected from their original meaning and function? Definitely something to think about.
ನಂದಿ ಕೂಗಬೇನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಸವ ತತ್ವದ ಕುರಿತು ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಚಿಂತನೆಗಾಗಿ ಪಾದಯಾತ್ರೆಯನ್ನು ಬಸವರಾಜ್ ಬಿರಾದವರವರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ವಹಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಒಂದೆರಡು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಈ ಜೋಡೆತ್ತಿನ ಕೃಷಿಕರು ಸಿದ್ದೇಶ್ವರಪ್ಪವರ ಜನ್ಮಸ್ಥಳವಾದಂಥ ಬಿಚ್ಚರ್ಗಿ ಗ್ರಾಮ ಮತ್ತು ಹತ್ತಿರದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಯತ್ನಾಳ್ ಗ್ರಾಮದಿಂದ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರು ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 2 ವರ್ಷ ಹಿಂದನೇ ಅವರು ಸಂಘಟನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಜೋಡೆತ್ತಿನ ಬಂಡಿಗಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಾದ್ಯಂತ ಈ ಜನಜಾಗೃತಿ ಮೂಡಿಸುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಿಶೇಷ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಜೋಡೆತ್ತಿನ ಕೃಷಿಕರಿಗೆ ಪೂರಕವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಾನೂನು ಬರಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಯೋಜನೆಯನ್ನು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಯಾಗಿರೋದು. ನಾವು ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಜೋಡೆತ್ತಿನ ಕೃಷಿಕರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ತಿಂಗಳ 11,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹನ ಕೊಡಂಗೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಶ್ರಮ ಪಡುವಂಥವ್ರು ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಇವತ್ತು ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲಿದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಜೋಡೆತ್ತಿನ ಕೃಷಿಕರು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಹೀಗೆ ಒಂದು 15 ದಿವಸದಾಗ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಳೆಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ ಮನೆಯಾಗಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆದರೆ ಜೋಡೆತ್ತಿನ ಕೃಷಿಕರು ಆ ಮಳೆ ಬರಲಿ ಚಳಿ ಇರಲಿ ಏನೇ ಇರಲಿ 365 ದಿವಸನೂ ಅವ್ರ ಜೋಡಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬಸವ ತತ್ವ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಎದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಂತಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ 4 ಕಾಲಿನ ಬಸವಣ್ಣನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಂತಿರೋದು ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಈ 4 ಕಾಲಿನ ಬಸವಣ್ಣನ ಉಳಿಸೋರು ಯಾರಂದ್ರೆ ಜೋಡೆತ್ತಿನ ಕೃಷಿಕರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಭೇದ ಭಾವವನ್ನು ಬರೆದು ಅಂದರೆ ಪಕ್ಷ ಧರ್ಮ ಜಾತಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭೇದ ಭಾವ ಮರೆತು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ಇಂಥ ಕೃಷಿಕರನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸೋಕೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದು ಉಳಿಲೇಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅಂದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಬಸವ ತತ್ವವನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸೋಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಈ ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರವರೆಗೆ ಇದನ್ನು ವಿಜಯಪುರದಿಂದ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಈ ಪಾದಯಾತ್ರೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಬಸವರಾಜ್ ಬಿರಾದರ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಜೋಡೆತ್ತಿನ ಕೃಷಿಕರ ಒಂದು ಪರವಾಗಿ ಈ ಪಾದಯಾತ್ರೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಒಬ್ಬರು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಈ ಜೋಡೆತ್ತು ಕಟ್ಟಿದವರಿಗೆ ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತು ಬಂದ್ ಕಿಸಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಪಾದಯಾತ್ರೆ ಪೂರ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹಾಕೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಎತ್ತು ಕಟ್ಟಾದವರು ಹೋಗಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಸಾಕಾಣಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದು. ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ನಿಂತದ್ದೇ ಆದರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಬಸವ ತತ್ವ ಉಳಿತದೆ. ಬಸವ ತತ್ವ ಉಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಾಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಇದೆ, ಈ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಕೋಟಿ ದೇವತೆ ದೇಹ ಸೇರಿದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ತನುವಿದು ಆಲಯ, ನಂದಿ ಎನ್ನುವ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ದೇವತೆ ನಿನ್ನ ನೆಲೆ ಶಿವಾಲಯ.